Hey Facebook, the embargo for Suicide Squad reviews has lifted.
Yes.
We'll have a video review probably later today and a written one sometime this week. We'll probably do even more coverage. It's a big week for DC because tomorrow, Suicide Squad Rebirth #1, that goes on sale. Right now, Batman the Killing Joke, the Blu-ray DVD, that's currently on sale. Heard a lot of mixed things, haven't seen them for myself yet. I'm going to do my best going with an open mind. For my own opinion, I strongly recommend you do the same. But right now, we are here to talk about the Suicide Squad movie. We were fortunate enough to attend the world premiere in New York City last night. Yeah, my immediate impression was I had a really, really good time. It's a lot of fun. The movie's strengths are definitely in its characters. The overall plot and the villain, it feels kind of disconnected from the rest of the movie. It's like you're watching a different film whenever it focuses on that, and I don't say that in a good way. It's not terrible, but it's kind of generic, and I feel like that there was definitely some room for improvement in that part of the film.
Yeah.
Everything else, though, really had a good time.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, my highlight, I'm a big Deadshot fan. I love his first and second limited series, his classic appearances, of course, his dynamic with Batman. I was really happy with the way he was portrayed by Will Smith and the way he was written by David Ayer. I thought that was terrific. Who was your favorite character?
I didn't have but just one. I actually was just happy to be alive to be able to see a group of villains on screen.
Sure.
I never thought in my lifetime I'd see this or the surge of comic book movies and their popularity. So I was really happy to be able to see a group of baddies all together, rocking and rolling, and filmed it where they are and being as true to the characters that David Ayer could have done writing the script. So that was really cool.
Yeah, it's definitely surreal for me as well. I remember the first time I saw Iron Man in theaters when you had the panning shot, the rotating shot, of Tony Stark stepping into the armor, locking in.
Yeah.
I got goosebumps. I loved it.
Was awesome.
And I got that a few times during this movie as well, because to me it's still surreal that I'm seeing Task Force X on the big screen. I'm seeing Amanda the Wall freaking Waller boss these people around. I'm seeing Boomerang ditch whenever he can and just being a jerk. I'm seeing Deadshot encountering someone else.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil anything.
Nope.
But in a flashback, I was just, this expression, what I'm doing right now, thinking about it, that's what it was like in the movie. I was just like,
He was like that all
I can't
night.
believe I'm seeing
All
that.
night.
It was, it's still surreal to me, man. And I know I'm going like full fanboy mode there.
Perfect.
But as I said before, I do have some constructive criticism about the film.
Sure.
Didn't love it, to be totally honest. I enjoyed it a lot. I'm very happy to see it again. I think it's a very entertaining movie.
Yeah.
Um,
I'd say the same. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's going to be one of the biggest of the summer. Of course, it's not perfect, not by anyone's opinion or stretch of the imagination, but it was a good, fun summer film.
Yeah.
And if you're a fan of Suicide Squad or Task Force X, you're going to enjoy it. As you can see by this face that has not changed since last night.
Still thinking about it. I had a lot of fun. I did. I mean, look, if you're going in expecting like a brilliant narrative, plot twist that you'll never see coming, the best movie you've ever seen, something really compelling, probably going to leave disappointed. But if you go in just wanting to have a good time, don't get me wrong, there is some good emotion in there. When I said not compelling, there's some solid emotion thrown in there as well. But the bigger picture, everything surrounding that, it definitely leaves a lot of room for improvement. Yeah, but everything else to me makes up for that, and I had a lot of fun watching it. I mean, I do have my critiques, but I still had a good time overall, and to me, that's what's very important.
Yeah.
And so let's get into obviously someone who's going to be a big topic. Joker. Jared Leto is Joker. Jared Leto. Leto. How do you say it?
I say Leto.
Leto.
I say whatever he wants, it's fine.
The 30 Seconds to Mars vocalist and Oscar winner. I'll
Yep.
point it that way. He's a great actor.
Yes.
And I think he provided a very different take on the Joker. There's obviously inspiration in the design and the outfits he wears from various incarnations of the Joker. The tattoos come from All-Star Batman and Robin, which he only made one appearance, had a big tattoo on his back.
Yep.
The different outfits he wears. You have Alex Ross in there.
Yep.
You have the Brian Azzarello Joker comic. You have a lot of inspiration scattered throughout. But the portrayal of the character is different than what I think people will expect.
True.
Like we were saying before off camera, It's more subtle. It's the kind of guy who you could tell he's not all there with the way he looks at you, the way he talks. And that, in a way, makes him a little scarier because you have no idea what he's going to do. He's a big wild card, just like Harley Quinn was a big wild card. Very entertaining character. But Joker, I mean, I'm not going to say I loved it or disliked the new character. We don't get a lot of him. He gets a fair amount of screen time, but he's not the primary character, primary villain. Excuse me. It's important to remember that. We don't get too much of him. I'm left wanting to see more so I can continue to really form my opinion. Right now, I think it's interesting. I think it's a new take on the character. And that's important because when you're following up Heath Ledger, Mark Hamill, all these Jack Nicholson, yes,
Cesar Romero. I mean, we can go on, but I definitely agree with you. I mean, I think his portrayal was very solid, unlike anything we've ever seen on film before for the Joker. And but I'm going to reserve my opinion and say that I want to see more. I would love to see Jared's Joker against Ben's Batman. I definitely want to see that. That's going to be a lot of fun.
That would be amazing. Yeah. Right? Speaking of Batman, as you know in the trailers, he is in the movie.
Yeah.
I think we got a little more of him than I expected to see. I thought he would only be in a flashback with Joker and Harley Quinn. I don't want to get any hopes up. He's not running interference in the main story or anything. Yeah, no. But he is in at least 3 scenes, I think.
He's in 3 scenes, and he's there. He's eloquently placed, just as the Joker is. They're not there to take over the film. They are there to move the story along, and it's relevant. So that's all. That's what I found really intriguing about it. It's not a. They're not there to overpower the film. They're not there to be like, oh, the Suicide Squad. By the way, it's a Batman movie with Suicide Squad. No.
Batman featuring the Suicide Squad.
Right. It's not that at all. It's truly he's there for plot purposes, for story purposes, and to continue the direction of the DC universe, which is really cool.
Yeah, and it was a pleasant surprise. I really thought Harley Quinn would be center stage. As I was saying before, Deadshot's one of my favorite characters. It was nice to see he was such a big character in the movie. I mean, not that I should be surprised considering it's Will Smith. Yeah, but I really thought there would be more of Joker and Harley Quinn than everyone else by a large margin.
Right.
Will Smith was definitely up there. El Diablo got a good amount of
development. He did, and I'm really happy with the way Jay Hernandez portrayed him. I'm really happy to see him take center stage in a film, not that he hasn't before, but it's good to see him back on the big screen, and I think he did the character justice. He gave a lot of range of emotion for the character, and I mean, it was just really good. You guys are going to really enjoy his character. He has a standout performance in the film.
Yeah, and Killer Croc as well. I love that they went practical with that character. Yeah. He feels like someone who could really exist. He's not some CGI monster who's just awkwardly thrown in there or someone. Not to this, because obviously we've seen in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Lord of the Rings, motion capture can be done brilliantly. But it's nice that he feels like someone who's actually a part of the team and it's believable. Yeah. He doesn't get too much. He gets a lot of time on screen, but not a lot of time to really stand out.
True.
I was left wanting to see more of him. I was definitely interested in seeing more.
Yeah, and I think your point with the special effects, for that type of character, you need something organic like that. He would not have played as well on screen as a CG character as he did with the practical effects. And I think, David, forgive me because I cannot pronounce your last name to save my life. No, the actor underneath. Did an amazing job. I mean, you really just see, you look at him and you don't think there's an actor underneath that. You're just like, that's a walking Killer Croc, which is really, really cool.
Yeah, and I think I heard that they wanted King Shark originally, but they went with Killer Croc because King Shark was being used very well over in The Flash. Surprisingly good special effects over in that, and which is a really fun show. I really enjoy The Flash. Looks like we have a few questions. On a scale of 1 to 10, if we're allowed to give half points, I'd go with maybe a 7.5 or an 8. That's my immediate reaction. I'm going to see it a second time. Had fun overall, but speaking of overall, the overall narrative, a little generic, wasn't the biggest fan of the villain. Sometimes things moved a little too quickly, didn't really let everything properly sink in. It was racing along. But I was still very entertained. I had a good time, and because of that, I think maybe a 7.5 seems fair.
Okay, I'm going to go a little bit higher than you. I'm going to go 8.5. Just 'cause we're gonna
WB paid him.
yeah, I wish. I'm going to go 8.5. I do agree that it was. It is very fast paced, so you do have to pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
I do think we could have spent time in other areas and worked with the villain better, for lack of a better term. But I wouldn't say 8.5. I'm definitely going to go see it again. I'm definitely going to enjoy it. So.
Yeah. And obviously you should too, if you're even remotely interested in the movie. I've seen the embargo lifted. I've seen a wide variety of reviews, some not so flattering.
No.
And I know a lot of people, they see what others have to say, and that influences their own opinion.
Right.
All I can recommend, and we may be influencing your opinion right now. All I can say is if you're interested in the movie, just do your best to go in with an open mind. Don't have your expectations ridiculously high or ridiculously low. Go in, let David Ayer present his movie to you, and just judge it for what it is. Yeah. Hopefully enjoy it.
Yeah, hopefully.
But yeah, it looks like there's a few more comments.
What do we got?
How was Deadshot or Jared Leto's Joker? We were talking about that earlier in the video, so once you watch it again, you can see that. Deadshot, we both really loved him. He's my favorite character on the team. If you have not read his 2 limited series, please do so. The first one is great, focused on character, his family, his origin. The second one focuses more on crazy action as well as his relationship with his daughter. I view it as mandatory reading as well as the original Suicide Squad run.
Yeah. I would say definitely mandatory, especially for this film.
Yes. Jared Leto's Joker. We think he's a terrific actor. We think there's a lot of nods to the source material based on how he dresses, and the way he acts, we both agree, very different. It's a new take on the Joker, and I think that's important. You can't just, when you're following Heath Ledger, you don't want to do more of the same. You want to do something original, and I think they've done that. However, we haven't seen enough of him to really, for me at least, to say whether or not I, love this take of the character or dislike it. It left me interested. I want to see more of him.
Yeah, I definitely want to see more of him, and as I said before earlier, I would love to see Leto's Joker versus Ben's Batman. I think it's really going to be an impressive, new, fresh take on 2 classic characters and how they interact on screen.
Yeah. So we have a few more questions from Greg Perlman. Hey, Greg.
Hey.
He says, "Hey, Greg. Good to see you last night. Good to see you as well. Hope you enjoyed it. What was your thought on the mid-credit scene without being too spoilery to others?" Okay. So mid-credit scene. Here is my face when I was watching it. Now, let me elaborate, just because you're not a telepath. You don't understand what my thought process is there. I'm not trying to say there's a reveal like Thanos at the end of the Avengers. It's not like Darkseid walks out and he's like, "Oh, Darkseid."
No.
He stands there with his arms behind his back. It's longer than I thought it would be, that scene.
Yeah.
Definitely longer.
Definitely longer.
It's a full dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
And I was very happy with it. It definitely had me... It answered something kind of obvious, I think.
Yes.
Which we kind of already knew. But then it also does something potentially tease something that could happen in the future, which I really hope it does happen. Which could be in, if there's potential Suicide Squad 2 movie, or maybe a solo movie that's coming out, or maybe a crossover eventually.
It's going to be a lot of fun. And obviously there's going to be a Suicide Squad too. I mean, this movie's tracked to do, what, 140 million this week?
I think it was 130 or 140. I hope it does, man.
I hope it does too. I mean, I want to see more DC movies.
Oh, yeah.
In general, I'm a huge fan of the comics, obviously, look at the work.
Especially now that Jeff Johns.
Oh, yeah. It was funny, for those of you who weren't
Jeff
there.
Johns.
We do, number one. For those of you who weren't there at the world premieres, one of the things David Ayer did say is that when he was collaborating on thinking about making this movie, Jeff Johns came and gave him a pile of books like this to read.
Yeah.
So,
also, he may have, someone in the audience said something negative about Marvel, and when he was caught up in the moment, he repeated it.
yes.
Just because the audience was, going for it.
They were fired
and
up, and he did.
He apologized for it immediately on Twitter, which I think was the right thing, because you shouldn't be saying, "Yay, DC, boo Marvel," or "Yay, Marvel, boo DC." Try to keep an open mind for both. They're both doing different things. And you know what? At the end of the day, if both these studios do well, that's good news for everyone.
Absolutely.
Everyone gets something they can enjoy.
It benefits us.
Yeah, and it forces them to be more competitive, to step up their game, to keep producing great movies. It's going to be terrible if only one is doing well and one is doing poorly. Yeah. So both of these studios, we want nothing but great movies from both of them. And hopefully you do too. And maybe Valiant eventually. I certainly hope so.
And Image. Let's see what else we got.
This is a little spoilery. What do you think of the cameo of the other hero apart from Batman? So we're not going to reveal who it is. Superman comes back to life. No, it's not Superman.
Not in this movie.
By the way, this does take place after Batman v Superman.
Yes.
I think there was some confusion about that. They make that crystal clear. It takes place after the movie. So, without spoiling anything, it was exciting to see it.
Yep.
However, there is one line of dialogue from this cameo, which I missed because everyone was cheering.
So that's why we got to go see it again.
Yeah.
To actually get what he said.
No idea what he or she said.
True.
No idea what they said, but it certainly made me smile. I was very happy to see it. I think there were a few more comments. So we're just scrolling up here. Let's see. Very first one. It's not a comment, maybe. It seems like a comment and a question. It just seems like a fun movie. It certainly is.
It is.
I'm looking forward to seeing it on Thursday. Well, I hope you enjoyed Milton Puma. Could this be the Iron Man of the DCEU? Now that the embargo has lifted, unfortunately, I don't think it will be. I've already seen negative reviews. Iron Man was critically acclaimed. It even got my parents interested in it because they heard from positive word of mouth so many good things. It got them. By the way, Mom and Dad, love you both. Had to get that in there. I don't think it'll be as big as Iron Man. I would love it to be, but I don't think it will be. I don't think it will receive that same kind of positive feedback across the board. I think there will be a lot of fans who like it, though, and if you like it, in the end, that's all that matters. If you like it, spread your positive love for it, you know?
Yeah.
Let other people know why they should check it out. If you don't like it, at least be constructive in your criticism. Don't just say, that movie sucked, that movie was terrible, this is the worst movie ever. Elaborate a little bit, you know. People, they take a lot of time and energy goes into making these movies, unlike these Facebook Live videos. So, we just set it up and we go.
Yeah,
But,
exactly.
yeah, a lot of passion goes into these projects and it really shows. So if you do have negatives, elaborate on them, man.
Yeah.
Have a good debate about it.
Let's see what else we got.
And at the end of the day, if someone disagrees, they disagree. No need to hate each other over it. We're just seeing there's more comments. Oh, how could we forget the wall? Did we forget the wall?
Well, you mentioned her, but we didn't actually go into it.
Yeah, thoughts on Viola Davis's performance. It was Amanda Waller.
Yeah.
It was the frickin' wall.
It was awesome.
Cold, calculating, do what needs to be done.
Heartless.
She was the wall.
Yeah.
I want more.
Me too. This is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
All she has to do is show up and make cameos, and the rest of them will be fine.
Yeah, no. Interesting dynamics going on there. I mean, she could be face to face with Killer Croc. She doesn't care.
Nope.
She knows she has leverage over these people, and she will take advantage of it. She's not a character who you see as vulnerable at all, even if she's in over her head. She's the kind of person who will do her best to just get through it and do what needs to be done. I thought she was great.
Yeah.
She was definitely great. So, that's it for the comments right now. Obviously, after this video is posted, we will continue to take a look at the comments, see if there are any more questions. If you have any feedback or advice for us, we're doing more and more Facebook Live videos. We're also going to step up our YouTube channel. So if there's anything you'd like to see from us, please let us know. We'll keep an eye on it, and we'll definitely take it into consideration. Excuse me. No water, lots of coffee, and leads to a dry mouth. Not good for videos.
That's funny.
Yeah, Greg Perlman again. You also hoping for Amanda Waller Nick Fury crossover movie? That'd be cool. I think Nick Fury would be impressed by her and probably intimidated.
Yeah.
I think if there's anyone who could intimidate
Nick Fury, it's her.
Amanda Waller.
Yeah.
Definitely seems like it. Brandon Chip.
We agree. We agree.
Yes,
That's all we're saying.
Agree with your comment that no one, I'll say, messes with the wall. Definitely agreed, Brandon. All right. Well, any last thoughts on the movie?
Go see it. Go see it and go see it.
Yeah, it's a good time. Look, man, does it have a great story? I think it has a pretty standard story, the bigger premise. I didn't love it. But overall, I had a great time, and that's what matters to me. I had a lot of fun. I hope you guys do as well. Looks like we have one more comment.
Yep.
Does Smith play Deadshot or just Will Smith? I'm glad you said that.
As am I.
Yeah, because with Will Smith, there was some controversy about that. People think he's, just always acting like himself. But I do think he's proven to be a capable actor. Ali, Pursuit of Happiness, several other movies. Yeah, he's known for comedy and his signature style. I think we do see hints of that in the character.
Yep.
But it's important to remember that Floyd Lawton, he's also kind of a smart I don't think I'm allowed to say that word. He's sassy sometimes.
Sassy is a good.
I don't know,
okay.
man. I don't have a synonym for smart bleep.
Just smart bleep. There you
So
go.
I think he fits the character well, because Deadshot is a guy who can be lighthearted in a kind of twisted way. He pulls off the various emotions you see from the character very well, and hopefully you'll feel the same way. Yeah, I was very pleased. I thought it was Deadshot. Minus, when I think of Deadshot, I think of the mustache. He has a full-on goatee. That's okay.
It's perfect.
They got the character, the personality right, I think. And I think they did a great job. So final thoughts, you say go see it.
Yep.
I agree. Go see it. Form your own opinion. Go in just with an open mind. Have fun. Hopefully you do. We certainly did. I'm definitely seeing it again. Thank you so much for watching. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ciao, folks.
Have a good one.